Welcome, 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 everybody, to another great episode of Real Life Matters. Of course, I am your host, DBoss, and I just want to thank everybody who's been doing their 15 minutes more of laughing. I was told today, earlier, I did somebody, and they said, one thing is important about if you're laughing, it's free. You don't have to pay, and it also keeps you youthful. So that's another benefit. It keeps your blood pressure down. It keeps you going. It heals your body. It tones your abs. There's so many health benefits for you laughing every day, and it's you don't have to do it alone. And it's also for all ages. It's just not just for a certain age group. You do your 15 minutes minimum. So, just don't say, oh, I don't have anybody. You can do it with your kids. You can do it at home. You could put something funny on that you know that you're going to laugh at. And then, next thing you turn around, oh, I laughed for a half hour. So that's something really, really good. So I do want to thank the people who have been doing it because I'm getting so much feedback and they're telling me they're having a good time. They're doing it and they feel better. They start their day good. They do all the things that they want to do in their life, and it helps. But I'm going to be coming up with some health benefits also of coconut water and watermelon. So people are going to know that in addition to talking about the laughing. But today I got a special guest for you today. I got somebody who's an actress, a writer, and a storyteller, and she's going to tell us about all of the accomplishments and everything that she's done. And you know what? Maybe she would have been better today if she knew that before. So, with no further ado, I introduce to you Djennie Laguerre.
Hi. Oh,
Hi,
hi.
I like the yellow and the red. It's really good. You do your laughing?
I did my laughing. I so needed. It's been hard time. I do. We have this trick that we do in theater because it's like you said, it's good for your health. It's for your bones. It keeps you young. And there's you take the vials and you go so
She's
every time I
laughing.
introduce that to my students, they think I'm crazy. And when they do it, they laugh.
Wow.
And it and it helps them relax and be less self-conscious.
Yeah,
You
but it's
know?
it's good. It start and for hearing that sound, that's funny. So when
And
Jenny's
then
already
when we get
started
to
it
a
off.
ho ho ho, they all become Santa Claus. That's what's so funny.
Yes.
When you go to the old town, they all go ho ho oh
Ho
ho,
ho
and they
ho.
start yes, or they start laughing at. Did you just
Mm.
call me a bad name? And it just goes into silly, silly laughter and then I ask them to see what does your body feel after, and they're like, "Oh, I feel so much more relaxed." So definitely, I needed that today to be reminded of that. Thank you.
Remind, yep, you have to do it.
Thank
And
you.
also, everybody here at Real Life Matters, we like to know where everybody's culture and their background they come from.
I'm a. I was born in Haiti. My parents are Haitians. I've been in Canada since the age of 4.
Oh, so you're
Yes.
breaded in. You're Canadian breaded in.
Yes. I usually tell people in a little introduction about myself because I grew up a lot in the francophone culture. First in Montreal, and then most of my life I grew up in Ottawa. So I always say I'm so Haitian Canadian that for breakfast I eat rice and peas and poutine together.
Oh, I never heard that one. I never knew you eat rice. Peas and
For
poutine.
me, it's a great breakfast. Rice
Wow,
and peas and poutine in. I'm like, best of both worlds.
good. So it's a fusion.
It's a fusion. Yes.
All right. So everybody's seeing your name. You pronounce it Jenny, but it's spelled with a D. So what's the purpose?
Well, Jenny, the D is a written with a D. It's a African way of writing my name. It's a bit of my mom gave me a bit of Africa, and the DJ does in French does je for Jenny, kind of does
Mm-hmm.
that sound, which doesn't really exist in English. And also a bit of a story about myself is that, which shows that Haitians, because because of the revolution, were the one of the islands, the French islands that's less occupied. So DJ, my mom sought the name of something called John John, which is a mushroom, and it's
Okay.
one of the best rices of Haiti. That mushroom, that black rice. Some people know it as black rice mushroom,
Okay.
and she saw it. Yeah, she saw it written John John, DJON. So she said, "I'm gonna name Jenny. I'm gonna write DJENNIE." And
Okay.
it also proves how, because occupied or Creole is the Creole that is closest to the African language.
Okay.
So we're the one who have the most pure African language and sounds in our Creole, while the other Creole of the islands have more of different influences. We have the other
Okay.
influences. We have a bit of English, we have a bit of the jazz, the rhythm and stuff like that of the thing, and the French and everything, and a bit of English, as as we've been taking over Miami, as you might have heard.
Yeah.
So
Florida.
the English,
A lot of Haitians, yes, they do live in Florida.
yes.
I
Yeah,
guess it's
we be
also
loving
it's
it.
not too
We're there
far
with our
away,
sisters.
right? It's not too far away, so
Yes. So that's why a bit. My mom gave me a bit of Africa in my name, and it began my story.
okay. So how long have you been doing acting? You're an actress, Sisson.
I've been maybe over 35 years.
Wow.
I've gone to High School of the Arts. I was in visual arts at first. I'm a visual artist also. That was my
Okay.
first art that I did. And I was doing a play that was traveling the schools. And the theater teacher said, "Change, come out of the visual art, come into theater."
Okay.
Uh, so then I did theater, and then from there I went to University of Ottawa. I studied theater and French lit. And once I was, as a good Caribbean girl, once I gave my mom my diploma, yeah, I said, "This, I have a bachelor in the arts. Now let me go do what I want to do." I went to study acting at Stella Adler in New York,
Wow.
and we went full speed after that. Stayed a few years, did some off Broadway things,
Like where?
hustle,
For
learn, took
who?
more classes. Yeah,
Like
huh?
for who? Who did you do some Broadway for?
Well, I
Which
mostly did a lot of off Broadway plays and worked, and then it got cut short because September 11th happened. It was really, really hard with the papers and everything. I
Yes.
said, and a lot of people were asking me to come back, and then I came back, thinking that, oh, maybe one day I will go back, and then I moved to Toronto because my sister, my cousins, all the second and friends were already in Toronto getting all these bilingual jobs. They were being, you know, yeah, they were coming to get them in Ottawa. They were coming to get them in Montreal, and they were all here in Toronto doing all these jobs. And there was so much filming here for American TV shows and everything.
Yeah, well,
And so
there's a big film industry here, and a lot of people film here. So
yeah, a lot of people here, and even ours has developed. And so I came here and I began my career in theater and TV. I've done a little film, but I mostly did TV and theater.
okay, and he also do storytelling.
Yeah, I do traditional storytelling from the Caribbean and Africa.
Wow.
Yes, so I also do, it's kind of like a niche. I go to festivals and I tell stories. I go to schools. and soirees, and I tell traditional stories. I kind of mix it a bit with my personality, um, you know, and we tell stories. But I use the traditional Haitian way of saying "crick," and people answer "crack," and then I tell my story and check up on them if they're listening, going "crick, crick, crick," to see if they're gonna answer
Clack, clack,
"crack,
clack.
crack." Yes, and then I continue my story. And I also write plays.
Okay. Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yes. So one of my plays is opening and touring the schools. Is opening next week in Montreal at Theatre Direct. No, at Black Theatre, Black Theatre Workshop. It's
Okay.
a co-production with Black Theatre Workshop and Roseneath Theatre. That's in Toronto. They're they're opening next week on Friday and Saturday, and after they're touring the schools in Montreal
Okay.
with my play, and then they're coming to tour here. Yeah, it's called
Okay.
Taking Care of Maman.
Yes. So tell us a bit about taking care of Mama. Is that's what you wrote, right? It's your play.
Yes. It's a play that I was in residency during COVID with Roseneath Theatre. We were online, and there was a few of us. He asked us to write something, and that write whatever we want to write, and it would be youth theater, something for the youth. And the story came to mind about uh, you know. I suffer from a lot of anxiety, and my daughter too. And I think
Okay.
COVID brought her anxiety to another level, as it did a lot of
Wow.
youth, a lot of youth, and we're still like dealing with that from after.
Uh-huh.
And my anxiety developed with a bit more, I would say, post COVID, because I kept going.
Okay.
I never stopped doing it. My family were like, I published a book of my plays. I was doing shows online. I made more money than I ever made during COVID because that's what we do as Caribbean women, as Caribbean people. We keep on
Yes.
going. I was brought up by a strong Black single mother who like ran her own business, and if that always had a new job, a new way of making money, a new way of getting best education for children. So I kept going, but I feel like that my anxiety towards the end of COVID was, or in the midst, turned into depression. And then I said to myself, I still continued going, and I'm watching my daughter having a hard time, and the story came to mind and said, oh my goodness, if I wasn't my mother's child, and on top of that, I had a uh, a physical mental health thing, how would my daughter
Okay.
survive? And then I'm saying, and then I would hear from my other friends who are teachers and saying that now they're seeing as teachers, they're into the children's home, and they're seeing children disappearing and not being there and everything, and losing, and then you see that the families are going through things, but it's contained in the house. There's no way of a break for the child to come to school to get help or to get a break. And so that's where the story came for me to think,
Wow.
what if I had a depression and I couldn't come out of it? what
Okay.
what if I wasn't my mother's child, and like, you have to tell me that, you have to tell me that somebody shot my leg. I'll still be
Mm-hmm.
walking. But if you tell me, hey, you got shot on the leg, all of a sudden, oh my God, my pain.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, I would
Before
not
that,
say
you
that,
didn't know.
right? Which is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing, which brings a lot of
Right.
the breakdowns and the things. So I said, what if somebody had a medical that they're fighting? I said, I bet you, even if I was depressed medically, these moms out there, not just the black moms, but these moms out there are still trying to make it happen for their children. So that's how the story came about, of this
Okay.
mom who just could not come out of it, but she had already written something to her daughter. If you see that I cannot come out of my depression, here is the only person that we trust,
Okay.
is this Haitian lady next door. And
Okay.
this Haitian lady doesn't seem like somebody you could trust, because she's very like, always out of her window, criticizing everybody.
Oh.
Nobody's off. People playing, they're playing the music too loud. People today,
Oh,
children today, blah, blah, blah. You know, she seems so display about how sometimes the help that you get comes from a surprising place. And I think a lot of us during COVID, or even during any hard time of our lives, that wonder that help that you got came from the less obvious place. And that's what's
okay.
beautiful about life. So that's how the story came
Wow.
to, and we see this young girl who connects with this older woman, and they help each other.
Okay. So can you have some stories that you've
Yeah,
written?
that's what
Show us.
taking care of Mama is about.
Taking care of Mama. All right. So you have an outline for that, or is that just it's just going to be played when it's touring?
It's gonna be playing. It's gonna be playing. Yeah, when it's touring. Yeah,
Okay.
we have.
Okay.
We also, if you go on roseneaththeater.com, if you
Hmm.
go to see Roseneath Theater, they have a film version of that. Because also, when once I was finished, the schools were not having any theater artists in their schools. Nobody would. You
Oh.
couldn't travel, so they got a grant to turn it into a little film. So I
Okay.
got to direct. So there's also a film version that you can have access to show your classrooms.
Okay.
But Black Tutor Workshop had read it. The artistic director over there had read it while I was working on it in residence. She came to help us out, to dramaturge and give ideas and help the development. So when she was like over there, she was like, you know what, this would be perfect to
Okay.
tour in the schools. It's in English, but there's a bit of French in it, because the old
Okay.
lady always tells the young girl, aren't you in French immersion school? Why are you not speaking French? So she's always trying to get her to speak French. And, it's a bit of a language. And then the effort, the little girl teaches a lady how to use electronics, you know,
Oh.
and better. And then it's just that exchange of help and love.
Wow. Well, we
Yeah.
can't wait for it so we can go see it. Or well, okay, so all this is incorporated now you're doing. So what's up next for you that you're gonna do after this? You have something, you must have something.
Well, after this, right now I'm writing something. I was in another residency, 3-year residency at another theater. Uh, it's called Théâtre de la Vieille 17. It's a French theater too. I um, I wrote something. I'm writing something right now, and I always every time I write something, I always think, "Oh, it's my last play. This is too much. I can't anymore. I don't have any more stories." And usually people laugh at me and say, "Okay, do you want to be part of my residency?"
Mm,
Writing residency, we need this. So this play is my love letter to Black women.
wow.
It's a play called Ritual. It's called a ritual of resilience and joy of the Black woman, and of the femme noire, of the Black woman.
Okay.
Right now it's in French. It's mostly developed in French, and it was inspired from the play For Colored Girls,
Okay.
who by Ntozake Shange. Which is a series of monologue, dance, poems, and who revolutionized the 60s, the 70s, and that was has been translated in so many languages, that's been made into film. But that play is one of the first. I've taken a monologue in there where the girl talks about not winning a reading contest, and at the end she meets this Haitian boy, and she's like, "Oh my God, there's so much racism in the South in America, but I just met someone who comes from Haiti, and did you know that they did a revolution?" And I remember doing that monologue, and I felt seen, like that the um everything was touching there. So my version is a bit is a francophone, black women, and they're coming to talk, and we're coming to attack all the stereotype, and we're coming to sing, and we're coming to dance, we're coming to cry, we're coming to flirt with the people, we're coming
Right.
to set the people, we're coming to upset the white people, we're coming to make the white women cry. We're
Wow.
coming to hug the yes, we're coming to hug the black the white women who know us and are part of it with us. We're coming to upset the black women who are not part of the revolution and telling them, "Wake up, sister. Be part of the revolution." And we're coming to say, "It's okay. I just want peace right now. That's all I can handle. But I will
Right.
respect your revolution." We're coming to just say all these things, and series of monologues and things. I'm also at the same time looking for a residency where I can translate it in English at the same time. Because a lot of
Okay.
my plays, I write them in French, then I get the money in English. So I translate it in English, and then it gets produced in English. And then now the French people are like, "Oh my God, you have it in French?" Blah, blah, blah. So then I
So
go
you got
back
to
in
try to do it at
French.
the same
And
time.
so, yes. So I'm going to try this time to have it at the same time instead of after.
Okay. So what would you tell somebody
Yes.
that wanted to get into to do what you're doing? What kind of advice would you tell them?
I would give them the advice that make sure that that's really what you want to do,
Hmm.
and don't do it for the money, because if you're doing it for the money and for the glamour, that means you'll be serving a lot of gods that you don't want to serve. Um, do it because you can get up at 5 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning to go do it. You will do it, and accept that you don't have a lot of money for a time, for a while, but then you can make it into parlay into a great career. Do it because you have something to say, you have something to share. Uh, Make it about other people, and then it's okay. It's okay if you need to have a backup, if you need to keep your job at the manufacturer, and then do stand up at night or work overnight and drive a taxi for a while. It's okay. Your time will come, and you will learn to produce your own things. You will learn the business. Just be there for the right reason. It's okay if you need to go back to school and become a teacher so you can be teacher by day, playwright by night. It's okay. There's so many different ways of going about it.
And you could say it in
It's
French
just
too, so
the
that
love.
people.
Oui, ne pas lâcher, ne pas lâcher, croire à ses rêves, trouver les gens qui vont vouloir vous supporter. One thing that I've really learned is, like, do not concentrate on the people who say no. Concentrate on that
Mm,
one or two or three people who say yes.
that's
Because
true.
you know, like they say, when Jesus says yes, nobody can say no.
I know. That's
So,
true.
right? So always try to concentrate on the positive, and share that joy. And then there's a lot of people out there who want to hear your story. Like, I mean, sometimes I write things and I think, oh, it's just funny to me, and I'm laughing like a little nerd. I'm like geeking and laughing, and then when I put it on stage, people are like, "Oh my God, you reminded me of," and they're laughing, or
Hmm.
or telling me, I can't believe you made me cry. I never cry, but you got
Wow.
me. And uh, oh, I feel like, being told, oh, that's my story. That's my
Right.
story that you put out there. No. So don't give up. Go for your dreams. You have one life to live. Whatever it looks like is your success story.
Right. So, are there any shout outs that you want to give your people that supported you? Any shout outs?
Oh, so many shout outs. Janet Sears, one of the greatest playwrights, Canadian Black women playwrights, who told me, write the story, Jenny, write it, because they're not gonna write it as good. And she's like, make sure it's bilingual. Everybody thinks everybody that's black in Toronto is Jamaican, but there's other
What?
cultures,
There's other
you
cultures.
know.
Hello.
He's like, come on, tell me your story, write it. If you write it and then play it with years, a wonderful playwright and great mentor. Shout out to my English teacher, Madame Monette, who gave me the courage to actually audition and continue into the theater. And she said, I'll handle your mom. Go ahead. Go try to go to the school that you want. I'll talk to your mom. And she came to see my play. My play Rendez-vous was in Ottawa, and she came to see it. And she says she told me she never forgot me. How I came from Montreal and I hardly spoke English in Ottawa, and everybody was bilingual, and I was really afraid to talk. But then I just did great presentations, and was part of plays. Monsieur Edgar Vary, who wrote my letter of recommendation for me to go to Stella Adler in
Wow.
New York. And I read that he was this wonderful Jewish mentor, theater, great director. And he would see that I was really quiet at University of Ottawa, and I was really on my own and very lonely as the only Black person. And he would bring me in his office, and he would push me to dare, to be bold, to take my place. If you want to direct something in the department and it's all Black, you can go get actors anywhere. Get your friends. If
Right.
there's not enough, do anything you want to do. If it's Black, go for it. Talk about your people. Really encourage.
All
And
right.
I'd like to shout out to my mom. My mom has not always been on my side about my artist career, because as every mom, they don't want you to be hungry. But to watch this woman as a hustler with two children, bringing up, helping us through school, uh, teaching us our worth, teaching us the importance of education, and her always learning more, always out there learning more and helping people in our community, be part of our church, being things. I think it prepared me for this career.
Right.
So I would like to shout out Anis Cadet, who rather I was a lawyer than an actor, but taught me everything I needed to know to be the successful artist that I am today.
Okay. All right. So, where can people follow you on social medias if they want to, stay up with you or book you to come to their
It's
venue?
very easy. There's Yeah, I would love it. It's really easy because there's nobody else named Djennie Laguerre written that way. So it's Djennie
It's true.
Laguerre. It's really easy to find me. Also, I have a website. It needs to be updated, but I do still get emails from it. If you want to write me, Um, People still send me messages and job requests and appearances and presentation requests. It's called Djennie Laguerre, written that way.
Oh,
.com. That's my website. Instagram, Facebook, Djennie Laguerre, written that way. There's another Djennie written that way, but there's no Laguerre with it. So I have done my
okay.
research.
All right.
Um,
Ah,
so
well, then,
you,
Djennie Laguerre, we've had opportunity. We appreciate you. I know people at home appreciate you sharing your journey. And you have any other new plays or things like that. We entertain you to come back. Just don't just be a stranger.
oh, thank you.
Yes. All
Thank
right.
you.
So,
And I want
so
to
I
congratulate you for what you're doing for
thank you.
us, for the culture, for the community. Uh, and you're doing this with style, with warmth, and with this wonderful smile. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that. But anyway, I do want to thank the viewers tonight for watching here. Come on, you guys can go out and look and see her stuff. Support, support, support. Doesn't matter if this is seen worldwide, so people can support. It's not just one place, so everybody can put together and support, because you need to support people like Djennie Laguerre, what she's doing, and she's dealing with some real matters, just like my show is Real Life Matters. So I do want to thank everybody tonight for tuning in.
Yes.
Good night and bye for now.